Hello, people. How are you doing? I'm Grandmaster Dennis Borsch, and you are going to see Fisher's favorites only. That's all you're gonna see. Favorites. Favorites of this fantastic world champion slash Grandmaster. If you have any wishes, thoughts on Fisher's favorites, let me know. I am more than excited to see what you want for me to play. Sozin, the evens, even the Fisher attack. It's on my list. Hey Billy Vane. Hey Casper. How are you guys doing? How are you guys doing? I'm doing good myself and excited to play this way. Alright? That's Berserkovich, c5. Obviously, a big fan of the Sicilian. Fischer loved playing c5 once he realized that that's the way to go if he wants to go for aggressive play. Takes knight c6. That's not too great because I always have attacks on my opponent's pieces. And that's not what you want, honestly. g6, let's go. Full Sicilian, meaning Dragon Sicilian. Got extra tempos, plenty. It makes sense for me just to start developing in quiet. Hey, John. Hey, Joe. How are you doing? These guys, a little bit weak. And that's kind of the problem with the Sicilian. Oftentimes those pawns do become weak. You don't enjoy them. I don't enjoy them, but you know, there are some perks and benefits for playing this with white. You get that extra space, that's all. I am going to go for short castling and then try to undermine those guys. Let's castle. I could have played d6, but I knew that I have this idea of knight g4 encircling that pawn on e5. So even though e5 can be annoying and sometimes is a threat, that's why they played d6 in the Najdorf. However, in this case, I just surround the pawn and win it. You haven't slept all night? That's awful. In b6, let's bother these pawns. So there's nothing much better than having 3 more threats. I have actually just 2 more threats, but the third one is still deadly, taking on e5. Haven't slept all night, man, that's tough. But this one does defend against f2, and this one, but queen b2 attacks the rook and the knight. One of them will fall because the queen is not there to defend the rook. There, I'll take that knight, thank you. And also notice I actually brought another defender via the queen. So after the exchanges, I have 1, 2, 3 defending. Wait. 1, 2, 3 defending, 3 attacking, and naturally, if you have more extra one attacking, so 4 versus 3, then you are winning. However, that's not the case here. I have more defenders, or at least enough defenders to capture everything back. Hey Guinea Pig, how are you? We'll be doing Fisher specials this stream, and if I'm correct and everything will fall in places, I might have a stream later on today. No promises, but there is a chance. There is a good chance. Doing fine, doing fine. Again, even though I'm up a piece, I make sure to draw out my guys. Queen c6, just getting ready for this battery idea, which would be perfect. That's actually not necessary. It's just nice to have some pressure on g2. The main goal should be to connect those rooks for whatever it takes. Knight guess for whatever it takes. Yeah, I'm gonna go b5 here. I was thinking about b6, but it's nice to have a good old outpost for my knight on c4. So I'm just gonna go b5 instead of b6, and that's kind of the point, and that's why you have to play aggressively in these Sicilian positions. Should b7, because if you just play conservatively, you don't get this square. And with this b5 move, I do get that square. So there's like these subtle differences and reasons why you do things. I do have some problems on e7, so I'm gonna just defend that. Takes, I'll take that. Now that was a bad move because it kind of creates a monster of my bishop, which I'll be able to use later and utilize later. And there's no one who can really counter this guy. Hey Ice, how are you? The Ice. So yeah, for you guys who just showed up now, let's give a friendly check. I'm going to play only Fischer lines. Anything that Fischer ever played is going to be played by me today, or at least this stream. Let's take. And I'm not against any sort of exchanges. I'm up material. Nice job in the streamers battle, thank you. I did my best at Eric's channel. If you don't know Eric's channel, well, you are missing out. Check him out. Check out Eric Rosen. Great streamer. C8. Just get my guy on the file and then start pushing that extra pawn. Takes rook c8 and just push it. Push it down the board. Also notice that this rook is actually well placed right behind the pawn. Okay, get the rook on the 7th or the 2nd. There, rook d2. I keep it on the 2nd if I can, because it will have immense pressure on g2. Only thing left is to start pushing these pawns. There, e5, and we're going to roll down the board. There, okay. d5. If takes, I take. That's a fair trade. Also, I'm up a rook, so every exchange is in my favor. There, e4. Just wanting to get my other rook in. Could even take, but rook takes. There's nothing wrong with that. Alright, let's take with the rook. Getting down on the 2nd. And then I push the pawn down. Note, once this bishop enters the game, it's game over. There. Okay, I'll take that bishop. I'll take this pawn. Now I'm going to take on g2, and that is almost it. Notice that sometimes when your opponent is running out of pieces, it's almost a stalemate. I'm not giving up that pawn just yet. Not in this case, however, because there's an h pawn. There, let's take d2. The problem is both is checkmate. There, and checkmate. So it can be tricky when you play the Sicilian. You got to be aggressive at both sides. for me as black to get outposts, and for my opponent as white to be on point and pushing me back. Thank you for the follow. Vidivierman, does the rook on the 7th apply just like the second row as well? Exactly. That's true. That's a true statement. All right. E4. Now, funnily enough, Mr. Fischer also played C4 in his career. There. Okay. I'm going to go bishop C4. C3. Just pressing against that knight in F3. E6. Let's get that knight out. D4. And I'm going for heavy piece play. Also notice I get the center. There, knight e4. Just trying to break havoc in my opponent's piece play. Notice I'm trying to lure my opponent out. F6 is actually quite a weakening move I'm happy to see. There. Let's drop back. Because eventually, once my opponent would play e5, the king would become quite weak. Okay. Start rolling with the pawn. B5. I could stay or change directions. Both look tempting, but I want to keep this bishop here. There, okay. A3, just holding it up. Notice that rook is in the wrong position. It stops black from playing B4. It is a pin right there. Knight B6. Okay. Let's go H5, creating more weaknesses. And notice once F6 is played, this king will be very, very shaky over there. So H6 is kind of an annoying threat. Also, Knight B6 is an interesting move. However, it does leave the C5 square open, which might become a problem later on. Okay, H6, provoking. There, okay. Huh. I'm gonna take that. There. Does knight c3 work? I'm gonna go bishop c3. Notice black can't take with the knight because it's a pin. And once I get rid of that bishop, actually I'm getting headway and getting closer to that square. Go knight c3. Pressing there. Might even go knight f4. That is what we call team play. Long castles. Notice every move I make gets me closer to taking that thing on d5. Knight f4. There. Let's take. Man, the mouse did not want to do anything with that move. Crazy. Okay, let's take. And this would be a normal Sicilian if the pawn was on f7, but the pawn ain't on f7 and I have made threats on g7. That makes it quite good. So not only am I up a pawn, that's why I'm not just going for the queen exchange, but I have plans to attack. Therefore, I do not want to shy away from a battle. Okay, go there. d6, there takes. And do that. I go queen f4, stopping b4, threatening rook d6, and then I want to double. Also, if I could somehow sneak closer to that square, that would be ideal. there. Okay. Rook d6, just annoying the queen. Queen c5, rook f6. Really? All right, I'll take that. I'll take that. If takes, I take. It's already mate. So it's actually quite dangerous. Rook here. Trying to mate me. Okay. C3, just stopping that. And actually this looks ugly, but it's kind of difficult to break through against it. Hey J-Rod, what's up? There, B4. Rook g6, and this is the point. I have this mate, which I'm going to use. Queen f6, queen g7. That is coming up. Yeah, talking about Carlsen, he's not having the time of his life so far. He's been playing well, but not that well. I go check, takes, check here, check, king there, check, there, check, d6, check, king here. All right, let's do it. Yep, so if takes, queen f6. If takes, I check, 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 and we're coming in. G7. Here, check. Check, and queen d7 is mate. Checkmate. You can give up the queen, but that basically just makes sure it lasts a bit longer. So that's what you do. In these positions, you realize, hey, the king is in trouble. You can't take because queen f6, queen g7 mate, and then you just have to count till the end, make sure that it's a win. Thank you, Brian. Appreciate it. Thank you, guys. Well, it took lots of practice to get here. In fact, practicing tactics really helped me just nail down these patterns. The one thing is to have the pattern, and the other thing is to prove that it works right here, right now. That's kind of the difference between an amateur and a seasoned player. We know how to solve it. And even sometimes we can't solve it because it's so complicated. All right, let's see. C5. We're going still in the Sicilian way. Right, C6. Thank you. Lol Boss is saying, beautiful demonstration of exploiting weak squares and amazing calculation at the end. Never managed to attack so cleanly in my games, but that's why you're a GM and I'm just a regular chess player. You know, don't lose hope. Hope is an important part of chess. Once you lose hope, that actually is a detriment to your game. So if I were you, I would just keep grinding, practicing, and eventually it will come to you. And that's kind of what chess is, problem solving. And if you get the knack of solving those, then you get down to it and you get stronger. All right, I'm going to go bishop g7. Note, my opponent gave up this square, which kind of makes me feel quite happy. Let's even occupy it. That's the way, Brian. I'll keep trying to get those tactics until I'm no longer an 800 Andy. Correcto. That's what you should do. Now, I heard Nakamura say, and I think Nakamura was very much correct there. He said that there are moments when you get hard stuck, so you don't improve that much. And to be honest with you, that happens to most all of those grandmasters you see at the top. There are moments when you think that they're just amazing, all around amazing, but that's not always true. There are occasions when they just can't improve. And not for me meeting Ilya Nizhnik, I don't think I would have improved that much and might have been stuck already for quite a few years. But when I met him, that kind of gave me an inspiration. If you didn't know, he's also streaming here, and he is quite a big talent, probably one of the best and youngest grandmasters of all time. That is actually not a probably, he is one of the youngest grandmasters of all time. And he kind of inspired me how to level up with my own game. Before that, I didn't understand what was missing, and that's why coaching and meeting new people matters a lot for your game. Because if you don't see something new, then you just can't improve. That's kind of how the chess world goes and how the chess game works. You do need new stimuli to get better. It's kind of like leveling out at the gym. Yes. Billy Vane, exactly. e5, making sure my opponent can't do anything in the middle. And then I'm going to start rushing with my pawn. Now, you want to get rid of your opponent's knights in these outposts. And when you have the knight, it's kind of nice because you will be the one in control of the game. Yeah, you learn to challenge yourself differently, and that's what really matters. Hey, ahoy. So the good thing is, I get to decide what to do after c takes and e takes. And in both cases, I will be the one choosing, which matters. Because if, let's say, c takes, I can still start playing on the queen side, or if e takes, I can do the same. But really, it boils down on my choice. Hey Pizza Racer, how are you doing? We are playing all the Fischer variations. So if you guys are interested or want me to play a specific Fischer line, just let me know. So takes. Okay, I could go knight f4. In fact, that's what I will do. I'm keeping the bishop alive, but in this position, knights are worth more than bishops because it's a close position. Hey Anano KG, thank you. Very instructive game, f5. So this will be an interesting shift in this position. Normally you'd say, okay, you just said the knight is better. Yes, but my opponent can only exchange it off if she opens it up for my bishop. Now this is actually, I think, a mistake because takes and I can take on e4. Even go f4. Keep it close as my opponent created plenty of white square weaknesses. f4 here. There, and rook moves there. Okay, let's just take. Pawn is a pawn and is a pawn. You know very little. Well, I'll try to tell you more about it later on. So Fischer's a big Najdorf aficionado, also a King's Indian guy, which you can find in the King's Indian in our links. And g5 is a very nice move, and that's why greed often backfires. There, okay, so I think I'm not even gonna get greedy and just start activating my pieces instead. Takes here, because if I take, I would get really passive, and what really matters is activity. Fischer Sozin, all right, I hear ya. Now it's annoying because there's no way white, that is, there's no way to counter it. f4. Now f4 is a brave move, but it sort of helps me. Okay. Take. Get on in. Get on in. But first off, let's just bring those pieces in. Did I play against Bok? Yes, I did. I did play against Bok in Nemo's channel. I did. The Fischer trap. Oh, the knight a5. I only remember the Reshevsky game, where he played bishop takes f7 against Reshevsky with white in a dragon, which is knight a5 trap I remember. Queen d2. Okay, so what I want is that square when I want it now, obviously. Now is a good time. Takes, I want to open up files, so my queen can somehow lurk in, g5. It's asking this bishop to leave the premises and give me the file. Okay, expected that much. And now, ladies and gentlemen, Mambo number 5. I'll give you a friendly check and then I take on e4. Takes. And at the end of the day, I'm going to get 2 pieces. There, takes. And it's gone. Because these guys are depending on each other. Now DE, that's the point. That's why I took here first. I'll take. Takes. Wonder if I can sneak on in. Well, I can just take it. Or, yeah, just take. The king is in mild danger. Mild danger over there. Okay. Yeah, this might have been a little bit iffy. Bishop g4. Let's check. Basically, the king is stalemated. So I might not have to rush too hard. Yeah, no, that king is stuck. Probably taking was a little lazy, but a win is a win. This still should be comfortably winning. Okay, let's go a5. Curious what my opponent is up to. Yarash, thank you for the follow. Yeah, this is completely winning with the king completely shut out. I think so too. There, but that actually sets up bishop g4, attacking the rook, and after exchanges, there's no way you can stop bishop f3, which is almost like a checkmate. That's good that people play decently. I think there's nothing wrong with that. And sadly for my opponent, the rook can't really stop my bishop from entering, but once it enters, it's deadly, and that's checkmate. Those bishops are sniping down the board. Oh, it can get tricky. Those bishops can get tricky. Thank you, Simsila. Appreciate it. All right, so let's go e4. Typical Fischer. e5. Knight f3. Bishop c4. Here comes the Fischer favorite, the evens gambit. 6 c3. There, that move ain't that great because that bishop will get attacked. And I'm gonna attack that bishop for sure. Alright. There. Let's castle. I've got the center. I've got my guys ready to pounce. Now, let's be a bit more careful though. I go queen b3. Takes. Let's just go bishop b2. Setting up threats and developing. That's still high on the list. Bishop g4. Let's ask where that bishop is going. Man, I might be outplaying myself here really hard. Okay, that does happen. Knight d2. I am sending it. Okay, e5. I have to open it up before my opponent castles. Takes. And even though I'm down a pawn, look at my development. I'm only one move away from connecting those rooks, which is the magic sign. There, e6, the most important part, making sure that king is stuck in the middle. With me. It's nothing like stuck in the middle with me. It's the best thing ever. There, okay. I'll take ya. Okay. I go here. Or takes, check here. Check, takes here. That's a lot. Let's take. Why did I take? That was so dumb. G5? G5? Oh no, I'm not happy. Not happy with that choice. Not happy with that choice. Not at all. Not at all happy. Right? 96. I did not dare go queen c2. I didn't think that's good enough. Jazzy Rider, thank you for the follow. Lolly, I'm sorry. I was told to drop on in. I asked twice if they need me. Okay? So I did my best. I don't know. Also, Bok put lots of pressure on me in the first game. In fact, it was very, very close. We're going down. Let's give a check. And I am again ruining the connection between those rooks. But at the end, I had a good game. And then I won. You get it? Okay. Now, actually, knight c4 is kind of annoying. Because not only am I hitting the lady, also bishop a3 is going to be on the cards. Knight c4. Rooks are coming in. And for a pawn, let's be honest here. Wouldn't you want this position for a single pawn? Tell me you wouldn't want this. Tell me. Tell me, face to face. Heart to heart. Soul to soul. Wouldn't this be a dream? Wouldn't this be a dream? Okay. Here check, there check. King goes there. I don't want to do that. Let's give a friendly check from here. E2. Dream. It's a dream. It is literally a dream. You go here, hello. You go there, hello from here. Knight f7 is sa vacacionen. Smotherino, as they say in chess lingo. And actually that's kind of the funny thing about chess. You learn to get your rooks on the files, but it's problem solving. You want to play the best move, and the best move is to check, get the queen in, and it's checkmate. That's how it works, people. That's how it works. Wesin, thank you for the follow. Yeah, the evens. That is the evens for ya, people. That is the evens. It's not a joke. In fact, I think Fischer said that it'd be great if the evens was good, but it ain't that perfect. Hey, GGC. Alright, let's go e4. Keeping it real. e5. There. Knight f6. Okay, now this time I'm going to go King's Indianish, which is another favorite of Mr. Fischer. There, I'll take. I'm gonna go g3, bishop g2. There, okay. Right. Bishop b2. I go castles. There, castles. Takes. Almost played b3, would have been tragic. There. Okay, bishop g5, just bothering that knight. And one thing that you really want to do in chess is bother your opponent's pieces. If you can do that, you'll be happy. Also, thank you for the follows, people. Dorniv, Meadow, Quezin, Chessnast, Chessy Rider, Ayla, Crumby, Simsilla, Keded, Kiarash, Plopenzio, So Dynamic. Thank you for the follows. Okay, e4. And this would be cool. The problem is after ef I have bishop f3 attacking the queen. Takes bishop f3. And unless there's magic here, which I don't see, I will be up a pawn. This is actually a sneaky trick you can find in any openings where something else is hanging but you're attacking the queen. There, now. I could move my bishop away or take. But if I takes and takes on c3, so that's a no-go. That would have been a double attack, and I didn't want to do anything with that. And this will be nasty, because both of my bishops are quite strong and well poised for an attack. Not to talk about the fact that I have threats over there as well. Queen g4, begging to exchange queens. Well, sure thing, we can, but it's on my terms. Wanna take? Well, take it. Let's take. But in exchange, I have these monster bishops. Now notice I took with the f rook, because I want the other guy on the b file. e5 is not a strange move. It's actually a decent move. It just doesn't work for a tactical reason. There, but that rook is loose, so I'm just going to oppose it. Notice whenever that knight ever moves, I take on c7. But if it doesn't move, that rook is in danger. I can just take here, take on h7 and take that rook. And it's about the subtle detail. iPatch, thank you for the follow. Hey Rotwik. These are kind of the subtle differences you learn in the game. You realize that, hey, that rook on e8 was loose, so why not gang up on it? There, rook e7, get that tractor on the 7th. And the only thing left is to bring the other guy in. Not there, because the bishop would attack me, but just bringing the other fellow. And it's just going to be terrible. Ruby, thank you for the follow. The openings are important, but it's not as important as noting and noticing these ideas. There, rook f4, asking this bishop where it's going. Also notice, once this bishop moves, I can take on f6 because of that pin. And because I have a rook on the 7th, I control all these pivotal squares. I have g4, and this bishop is surprisingly trapped. Who do you think will win the Magnus Tour, I suppose you're asking? Yes, so here, one of the critical points was to realize that rook is undefended. So even though I'm wasting one move, it's worth it, because there are just too many targets, actually 2 of them. So here rook e1 was good. Note also if f6 I have d4, and then I will have nasty checks. So black really didn't have a choice afterwards. And this was just winning with the rook on the 7th. So who's gonna win the Magnus Tour? So Hikaru has a good situation. He's leading 2-1. But I don't know. I think today's day will be crucial. Really, really crucial. I'll tell you that much. Because if he wins, it'll be a 3-1 lead with only one set away from victory. And that is very much doable. But if he loses, it'll be tied up. And in fact, I think the psychological advantage would swing the other way. So, all in all, I think this is the round to watch. Paulius, thank you for following. It wasn't Magnus's. So, chess is tricky. Oftentimes, you get a good situation going, but oftentimes you get under heavy pressure. Now, believe it or not, sometimes Fischer did play the Ruy Lopez. Takes there. Okay, I'm gonna go bishop c5, c3, and f6. Yeah, this is still a line. There, takes. I wanna go castles. d5, Probably playing this awfully. Knight e7, just keeping it closed. I'm a little bit worse here. But hey, where was I? So I was talking about Carlsen. Carlsen was under heavy pressure, and Hikaru was playing really well. So I see no reason to say that it was Magnus being out of shape. True, that's a true statement. Magnus was out of shape. However, you know, you don't play bad moves without the cooperation of your opponent. So, if you think about it, Hikaru was doing what he was supposed to do, putting pressure. Okay, let's go bishop g4, pinning it, and I'm gonna get my guy out. So I think today is gonna be the decider. Doesn't matter how good you are, the clock. Well, the clock matters a whole bunch, but you still have to play really well, especially at the level that they're at. Go queen d6. Did he get the Sozin yet? Not yet, but I didn't get the opening. I didn't get the Najdorf. Well, to get better, you've got to do tactics, and you do have to analyze your games. You have to realize where you made your mistakes. In fact, today, when you're going to see Magnus play versus Hikaru, you're going to see improvements of the previous games. And that is an essential part of getting better, looking for the mistakes you've made. Alright, queen e6. I had enough fun being in this pin. Anyone can become a grandmaster, but it depends on how much energy and how many hours you put into it. Alright, let's just go rook b8. Curious what my opponent wants. Just get my rook on the file. Okay, let's even bring this guy over here. Rook e1. Getting it over there. Queen d6. Just step in away. Rook d1, h6. Let's ask where this queen is going. Where is that lady going? Queen g3. Knight e4, hitting the queen, pressing on e5 as well. Not to mention that pawn on f2, which can become a target. It really doesn't matter how much you practice in general, but you have to practice a lot to get real good. And g5 looks like an idea. Point being, if takes, I'll take, and then I have a double attack on the queen and the knight. Other than that, I have threats on f3 and e5. So it matters if you had lots of practice. I already practiced tons of tactics while trying for the GM title. So for that, I would advise you to look at Polgar's The Dad's 5,000 Tactics. It's a very good book. Sim says, I find it very hard to know what to focus on when I learn chess. You think it's good to really focus and study opening for beginners, and what opening do you think has a good potential? So just take a look of what's going on and what's big on the top. You want to play that because possibly that means they're correct. I mean, or at least it's viable. g6, gonna get my bishop on the long diag. So that's the way to look for openings. They're not like a cookie cutter way of looking at openings. Some like the Sicilian, some like the Spanish. It's your decision. You'll have to decide which one you enjoy more. b8, and I'm going to start pushing my pawn. b4. There, knight d7. Activating my bishop. I might even start rolling with my pawn. Yep, let's do that. Just creating targets on the queen side. There, a4. Sure thing, Rohan. Tori Yamazaki, thank you for the follow. C4. Nice. Let's see. C4, I don't believe in that one too much. Takes. Probably I shouldn't believe in my move because that was pretty awful as well. Okay, I'm gonna go knight e5. Takes. Yeah, misplaying this terribly. I tried to learn the lines in the Ruy Lopez. I got destroyed by the Nimzo. Well, yeah, you've got to decide which one fits you. X, and that'll be a problem. X. Let's take that guy. Take. Do I play on other sites? Yes, I do. I play on chess.com. I'm playing on other sites as well. And I see no difference. Lichess, chess.com, they all have their benefits. By the way, just a side note, maybe, it's a hard maybe at the moment, but I'm planning to do a stream later on if I can. But we'll see. So you might want to stick around in the future. You might want to check out some of our social links, especially the Discord, so you'll know when there's action going on. Wow, queen e8. That's nasty. That is nasty. Okay. Right, let's play h5. There, I don't want that knight in. No, thank you. No, thank you. Ah, thank you, Hector. Appreciate it. Let's go here. d5. Wanna bother that pony. Takes. There. Bishop d4. And you can take whatever you want, but your king is lonely on the other side. Bishop b7 was my original idea, but then I realized that loses. And that is why you don't leave the king alone, because they're gonna come after it. King here, check, you've got to go back, queen f1, checkmate. If you go here, then it's queen g1. What is the easiest opening to learn for a beginner? So I'll give you two options. One of them is the Spanish, because it teaches you the principles and the ways of thinking. So it's basically 1 e4, e5, or the dragon. Now e4, e5 shows you the difficulty of chess and shows you more of the classical ways of going. You want to play 1 e4 as white because that's the way you grow as a player. You learn how to handle tactical positions and positional positions that get from the Spanish. And also there's the dragon, which will give you plenty of chances to go for tactics. So I'm gonna go for e4, knight f3, d4 takes, knight c3, and we're going to go for the Sozin, one of Fischer's favorites. Okay, let's go bishop g5. So I am going to attempt, I could go short castle, but my plan is to go long castling. Anush, thank you for the follow. Ahmed, I just did, and I did recommend you the good old queen e2 is good. Actually, bishop, I don't know, I can't decide. Probably queen f3 is better. Just eyeing that rook. So what I would suggest is definitely the Spanish or the dragon. b5. Okay. Let's castle. Knight d7. Okay. Can't take because knight e5. Take here. I have to go for breaks. And this is a do or die opening, by the way. There. Okay. All right, let's go g4, g5. So you are aiming to undermine your opponent's structure. Castles. Okay. All right, g5 is an idea. g5. There. Okay. g6. Now if f takes, then that pawn becomes extremely weak. Notice that the whole plan with this bishop move revolves around this pawn and sacrifices on d5 and f5. Here comes the question which way to go. I could take there and then have a target, or go gh and attack that way. There, takes, h. All right, let's take this way. h5. I'm planning to start roaming and put pressure on the g-pawn. b4, okay, doesn't matter, and we're going this direction anyways. You can also go f3 and just bolster that pawn on e4. There, g1. For the attack, this doesn't work. Oh no. Oh no. Doesn't it? It doesn't work. Nah, f4 stupid. Oh, that was so bad. That was so bad. Yeah, it was smart. Smart on my opponent. Okay, let's take this. Yeah. Might be butchering it a little bit. Knight c4. Knight c4. I think I have rook g7. Actually, a very tense position, and this is kind of the reason it's not that popular, because it's a do or die variation, and I might get the stick. I might get the stick. Hopefully not, but there's always a chance when you go this direction. Bishop f6, yeah, that's by far the best move. I've got to promote. Well, maybe rook g3, but takes there. I get mated, it's for sure. Got to go there. Takes, queen h6 here. f6. Definitely. Man. Tough. Knight d4. I'm gonna cover it up. Takes. No regards. No regards to my attack. Good. Good. Just check. Why did I check? Yeah, that was a mistake. That was a mistake. Yeah, that's a very strong move. That is a very strong move that I completely blanked out on. Check. Let's try to get in there. Let's try to get in there. Takes, check. There. I checked nothing. If I check, there, check. F6. Probably it's just a draw. E5 takes, checking there. Yep. It's a draw. It's a draw. Do I have a checkmate? I don't know if I do. E5 takes. Check, queen there. No, I don't have a checkmate. Don't have a checkmate. It's a draw. Anyways, this is the Wild Sicilian that you know. That is that Wild Sicilian. Any resources to learn the Spanish? So as far as I know, there's a streamer. Oh, messed up. Nemo is a big expert on the Spanish, so check her out. She did play Fall Guys that time, but she has material on it. So anything that's worth a look. e4, let's go Sicilian again. Takes knight f6, and obviously the Najdorf. Who's that streamer? Joe, you're the only one who can't ask that question, I don't think. c6. But okay. Now taking is bad, because now I have the bishop pair, and I'm going to be happy about it. I'm even going to be aggressive. Just followed Nemo yesterday. You were at the right place. Okay, queen c5. Notice that this queen slides on over to the other side. Not quite there because you get captured. However, it's important because if white could get queen h5 in, that'd be nasty. Talking about nasty, bishop h3 is nasty because I'm winning the exchange. Thank you for the exchange. h5. Pressing there as hard as possibly can. And I do have these ugly structures. It doesn't really matter, especially because they're in the center. So that's kind of the positive in these positions. You get to have the center in the endgame or in the middle game once the queens are off the board. So let's not get talking about the fact that, oh, it's an endgame without queens. Actually, it's still sort of a middle game with rooks on the board. Or at least someone claims, or some people claim. I don't know. People are strange. Yep, Kiarash, that is her bio. Okay, bishop c5. I don't want to exchange it. It's a strong bishop, and it doesn't really have a counterpart. Okay, one. Buying that pawn, and it is over. Which King's Gambit variation did Fischer enjoy the most? I think it is 3 bishop c4. He played that and introduced that to modern practice. Maybe he didn't introduce to modern practice, but he did think that that's one of the best openings you can play. What do I think about the Sveshnikov Sicilian? It's a great opening, Chessy Chess. Did Fischer play evens? Yes, he did. He actually played it against Fine. Okay, that's Berserkovich. Let's go e4. Let's go f4. Queen h4 check, g3. All right, knight c3. Takes d4. You can take my pawns. I don't care. I've got the center. I've got everything I want. Okay, let's go queen f3. Just preparing to castle long. All right. Let's go bishop g5. At the very beginning of someone's chess journey, should one grind hours of practice or study up on tactics? Tactics, tactics, tactics. You want to do tactics. Note that this rook will be a surprise attacker. c6. Okay, it's time to castle. And look at that. I'm down 50 million pawns. That is 3, if I'm correct. I'm 3 pawns down, but look at my development. It's complete. It's near complete. Can I go e5, ef, fe? Yep. I'm going to win back just too many material. It's just 2? Yeah, it's just 2. It just looks like 3 because there's so many of them over there. Could move. No, just take it, take everything. Take everything. Take everything you see. Take. And I will have 3 pieces And that's way much more than what you need and what you usually get. H6. Okay. Let's ask a question first, where that king is going. That's my first question. Might not be the last. Check here. King there. Okay. Check here. D7 looks nasty too. It'll be a double check. Just to remind you, F5 was very good. Actually, forgot about that for a sec. There. 94, 96. Is that mate? It ain't no mate, so not gonna go for it. Yeah, you should check out Polgar's book. Yeah. That's a thick book, so if you'd like smaller books, Balog's Tactics is pretty good. There, G5, I'll take that pawn, thank you. I'll take it. I'll take that one. I'll take that one. Knight A6. Okay. I've got to somehow maneuver my folks in. There. Well, let's just develop. If you don't know what to do, just get your piece into the game. I couldn't go knight f3 because of g4, so I put it on e2 instead. Csaba Balog, yes. Hey there, Lulu, how are you? G4. Okay, now could go here or here. Depending on the situation. I think I'm gonna go here. I'm gonna get the knight there, and I can maybe slalom my bishop to better position. They're not shocked at all. Let's go rook h7, attacking that pawn. I don't really want to see that roam too far. You want to go there, but then I'll take your rook. Map frame, I'll take that rook. Yeah, I mean, Balog is more for you to practice and get better at tactics. Polgar, actually, Polgar is a very big, thick book, really. And it has plenty of one move, two move mates and puzzles that helps you build your tactical arsenal. So if you don't get scared of big books, that's the book you want. But if you get scared, then you might want to check out Balog's book. I'm doing great. I am doing great. All right, let's go e4, knight f3. There, and there's another system that is beloved by our hero. And that is the King's Indian attack. 4. d5. Okay, let's go h4. Basically, you're playing the King's Indian attack or the King's Indian with reversed colors. Now, it has its perks and it has its downsides. Perks being, you are up a tempo in these type of positions. Downsides, you do often lose the central control. That is kind of the reason you play on the sides, trying to counterbalance that. And as you go on with the Polgar book, coming back to that topic, it does get progressively harder. Plasta says, you're the best chess streamer. Thank you, Plasta. Appreciate that. All right, let's take. I wouldn't be so sure, but I do appreciate the compliment. There needs to be a book for engines. Yeah, I don't know. That just sounds funny. This queen feels awkward. Okay, where's that queen? Where is it heading to? I don't understand that lady. What is this lady doing? What is this lady doing there? Queen e5. I go rook d7. Just double attacking those guys. Rook d7. d7 there. F4 takes. Okay, rook d7. And I have this double attack. Note I couldn't really go bishop f4 because of queen b2. What's the book called? Could take there. First I want to go f4. This is my idea. I want to exchange queens and then take. Queen b8. If I take, then there's queen d8. That's nasty. Alright, I have to admit, did not expect that one. Go back. I think it's 5,000 and I don't know, something puzzles. It's a lot of puzzles. That's what it is. Okay. I need to develop my folks. That's what's missing. Let's go here. That's what's missing. Yeah, that's a ton of puzzles, right, Sandeha? There, queen c7. Let's connect those rooks, and that's one of the things that was lacking most of the time when I was playing this position. Didn't develop all of my guys. Takes. Okay, I'll take. There, queen e2. Bishop d4. All right. Okay. I'll hide my king. And because I have a little bit of pressure on the king side, that's why I would presuppose I'm a little bit better. Just a teeny weeny bit better. By the way, if you are interested in these interesting topics in general, do check out us on YouTube. We have some fun stuff over there. Okay. Rook f1. A little bit iffy, but I want to get ready to attack on this side of the board. Could even go e5, h6, or f5. Plenty of thoughts and ideas over here. Let's take. There, h6. Now if takes, I have f5, f6. Forking the knight, and it's also a check. So if takes, I go f5. And after that, there'll be some cool little tricks against that king. Cool or cruel? Synonyms. Very close. Very close to each other. King f8. Let's go knight e2, asking where this rook is going. And notice once my queen gets in there, there'll be havoc. Havoc in the position. There, queen c3. I'm trying to get over there to h8. And notice this knight e2 move had one sole purpose, and that purpose was to cut off this rook from coming back. e5. Now, normally that's not like a great structure, but here the threats are more important than the structure. e6 is a monstrous threat, because once my queen invades, combined with my rook's pressure, this will be plenty of pain. Plenty of pain. By the way, I'm curious, what do you guys expect? Who will win? Supra, thank you for the follow. I mean, today's set, obviously, because there is a round between the two. Queen d7. Okay. It sort of invites e6. Yeah, e6 is very nice. Now, I'm even giving up a pawn. The whole thing is I'm going to win the piece. Check there. Check there. That's a block. But I check here first. The knight has to block. Then I have queen g7 and I can take. Should I go knight f4 though? Just to put pressure on the queen. I should. But then it's queen f6. Alright, check. Now knight f4. No, just take it. Just take it. It's an extra piece. And now knight f4. It's coming on in. And my queen is infiltrating and this king is in the middle. Not enjoying it. It's time. There, knight g6. g6 doesn't work. Knight g6, queen g6. Let's go knight d3. We're going for the mate. Knight e5. Takes, I have takes. Takes. And it's mate behind. Kind of annoying. I didn't notice that this rook is sort of out of it. And that's why this attack is so ragingly good. Takes there, check, and checkmate. f6. Let's take that guy. Let's take that fellow over there. King there. All right, let's take this fellow. I'm gonna take on g6. Check. There, I'll take that rook. There, let's push the pawn. And we are running down the board. Yep, very nice. That is why you need that rook on the file and not on the sides. Nasty, right? Hikaru is on fire. Definitely is on fire. See the results. Magnus by a bunch. That's surprising me actually, because Hikaru is doing very well so far. All right. E4. E5, knight f3. I can't go there. No. All right, we got. Oh no, that's a good move, but not what I wanted to play. Demesh, how many moves are GMs preparing in openings in advance? It depends on their level. Some prepare more than others. That's really boils down to that. So this whole idea and whole system revolves around getting more of your pieces out. If you can, you'll get an advantage. If you can't, then it's even. D4 mouse slip, I know. Knight d7, let's go knight c3. I am pushing in middle because my opponent is behind in development. So I would do this Spanish Ruy Lopez, and I will do so. Just I need to get the pairing for it, my friend. Magnus is getting into some troubles. Yes, Dr. Reichner. There, bishop c5. No, 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 no. Don't castle. Or you castle. You can't castle if you want to. That is fine with me. But that will have repercussions. Just saying. Which variation of the Ruy Lopez did Fischer play? Fischer played bishop c5 lines, in fact. Craven. In h6, just eyeing the king, making sure black cannot castle. And that's kind of the difference. I'm one move away from castling, while black is not quite ready for that. Right, let's castle, put the king into safety, and now I can look for a solution. Sometimes I can even go in there and bishop h6, which is actually decisive if this bishop is not there. Queen e7 was a mistake, because you can't capture this rook e1 and you're pinned. So this is basically a loss of time. I could just have gone queen d7 instead. Queen f8. I'm attacking. Don't want to exchange in that case. Don't want to exchange. That would be bad news. That would be bad news. Yeah, bishop c5 is old school stuff. Old school. All right. So as you guys come from different channels, first off, which channels you're coming from? What was the last thing you watched? Could be a movie, could be a channel. I'm just curious. I'm just curious. Chess tube. Okay, bishop d7. Now the king is in the middle, so I'm gonna spell some trouble. Go c4 and undermine it, because notice my opponent king cannot move. Chess Brawl. Chess tube. Mark Esserman. The inside of your eyelids. You were asleep. Good. Sleeping is good, by the way, for your chest as well. Nemo. Well, B1 pressing there. Why, thank you. We want me to post that bishop there. Defended by my charger pawn. Sure thing. Aludnio, Chigatana. Exactly. It's good to sleep. Some YouTube tutorials. Yeah, let's take with the lady. So whenever you're in firm control, your opponent can't move. Any captures actually help your opponent develop pieces. Ebeam, hello there. You saw me beat Bok yesterday. Thank you. Appreciate it, Sandeha. Yeah, the second game was nice. The first one he was swiftly outplaying me. I do admit that. Bishop e4. And notice, in this position, because all of my opponent's pieces are scattered, I'm basically winning here. Only thing left is to put this king into a check and the mate. Got mocked. Yep, got mocked. b5. Almost took, but the queen is still lurking in the shadows. That queen is still lurking in thy shadows. Okay, let's go queen b3. I'm playing it a bit slowish, which is a problem. Should be a bit faster, especially as Mr. Clock is not on our side. Not at all. Which is annoying, to put it mildly. It is super annoying. Rook b8, rook d1. Get your rook on the file. Always get that rook on the file. No, I should have played queen d5, I agree. I agree. Queen b3 was kind of first thought, but not a great one. Celis, #1 fan. Thank you for following. Celis is wonderful. In fact, I play tennis myself, and I play the same exact style as Celis did. Monica Seles, if you did not know, was a famous tennis player. Okay, let's go queen d5. That's not a threat you can sneeze at. All right, e6. You're breaking it open. That is just deadly. Deadlicious. Deadlicious. Very much deadlicious. Hello? Hello? Is anybody in there? And there's pins of thousands you can even take there because of that pin being quite deadly. Takes. Just need to get that final piece in the attack. It'll be perfect. c5, let's get this rook in there. Queen e7. Okay. Let's check. There. Let's take this thingy. And after I get my rooks on the third, it'll be mate. It'll be matelicious. Let's get that rook in. Slide it on up. There, okay, let's give a check. Give a check, check, check. Check, queen g6. Yeah, queen g6 is quite hard to deal with. Mate is incoming pretty soon. It's not mate. No. Oh my goodness. To take this way though. But still, it won't run away. It won't run away. There, queen h5. h5. Wow, this guy's fighting. This guy's fighting. Okay, check, and I can take that rook. And it's putting a heck of a fight. That is very respectable. There, I'll take that. Yeah, I should have been a bit more aggressive. But okay. Okay. And still winning, obviously. Queen c3. Alright, try to induce some tricks. Rook d1. Don't want to do that. The only thing I have as a problem is the back rank, so my second move is going to avoid that with h4. c4. Okay. Rook d4, setting up the rover idea. Just kind of uncomfortable. Check, I'll hide. Now rook f4 will be on tap. Queen g6. Okay, let's check. Queen e7. There. Rook f6 is a lady. Takes. g4. And a win. Sweet, sweet, sweet. Nice. All right. This was a good Fischer run. But I guess we do have lots of other things to look at. Yeah, that entire game was at Sutswang. Yeah, for black. Definitely. Definitely was a Sutswang. Alright, let's see. Well, I would have, and I will keep that in mind, Rotwik. But the tournament is essentially closed down. But there was a very, very nice little game that I wanted to show. This one. So, okay. What? No, not interested in that part. So back here. some of you haven't seen this. Can you spot the move? Have I had a stalemate? No, I haven't. Have I played hammer? Yes, I did, Miot. In fact, I have good memories of our blitz and bullet sessions. That was fun. Can you find the big move here? Yeah? Let's see. Yeah, rook g8, and that's what I played. The whole point is takes, then queen f6. And if king takes, I go here, as I did in the game, here. And the king is just not comfortable. And after king e8, check, here, 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 it's checkmate. Which is quite nice. I was quite happy with this one. You can also, if the king runs into the middle, it also gets mated. Say it goes here, queen h7. I have lots of pawns. It doesn't say I'm winning. Wow. g5 here. And after even, I could even go ab because I have lots of pawns. I have actually the 5 pawns they talk about. f4. What? Okay, so what is this? So here, here, here. What? Where's the mate? I just do this. That's cute. This is a cute mate. Rook e4, that's quite nice. That's sweet. Alright. We won! We won! Hooray! Hooray, hooray, hooray! We won with Fischer style. I do wonder if you guys enjoyed Fischer style. Thank you, Tori Yamazaki. And I think that'll be it. The Rio. I don't know the Rio. Sure, Lurakan. So keep it in mind, I might be back today, some moment. But now I am going to pass it on. Pass the raid. I'm going to pass it. Who should we pass it to? What? Okay, who should we pass? Let's raid Lille. Really hope you guys had a fun time here. If you want, you can always join us on Discord. We have some fun talks. So I hope you enjoyed your moments, and obviously this week I will be back. So in any case, really hope you had lots of fun over here. Wish you all the best. And don't forget to tune in to these big matches because they'll be quite exciting. I think today is going to be the day that'll decide who's the winner. So stay tuned, keep connected, see you next time.